YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here, the Watcher of Realms. We are back with the Guild v Guild. Technically, this is going to be the Gladiator Gauntlet Showcase. This is specifically going to be the Watcher team. So, first thing first, right? So, there have been a couple of changes to the map. So, right now, we have this additional corridor. We have this corridor right here. We have this corridor. We have these spots right here, and then also we have an additional tile over here. There have been additional changes, such as this tile being moved, and then also this tile being moved. Typically, this tile was available, but now it's over here. So a lot has changed, which doesn't necessarily impact too much how the Ingrid teams function. However, you get a little bit of more flexibility because of how Ingrid functions and how certain units function. You kind of want to go ahead and mitigate some of the pitfalls that you might go ahead and experience with the block and how certain swarm tactics will work with Ingrid's targeting system. So first thing is first, right? This is going to be the tile that you put Ingrid if you're going to use the top team. One thing to note, this is not sniped by archers. It is not in danger whatsoever. The next thing is you're going to go ahead and put your Reglets over here. Your Lily is over here. You can use a Wukong. You can go ahead and use the Ares. You can go ahead and use a Ymrit in this tile right here, and you'll have a lot of success. If you're using Wukong specifically, though, you do have to unfortunately put him here just because of his range. So you're a little bit limited in that regard. With Ares, Ares is going to hit pretty much this entire lane right here alongside Ingrid. So Ares is going to be the number one unit that you want to go ahead and place in this particular spot. Ymrit is in a similar fashion. Ymrit will hit up to about, believe, this spot, and then I think it's over here as well whenever he is going ahead and ulting. So Wukong is nice, but you really want to shoot for either Ymrit or Ares in this position. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my Wukong here because I am unlucky and I do not have either of those units. And then the next thing is you're going to go ahead and place your Theowen or Greed in either one of these two spots. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think it necessarily matters as much. I'm just going to go ahead and put my Theowen here. One thing that is very, very important to note, if you go ahead and place them here, there is a chance that you go ahead and get bombed if your Theowen is not properly geared. So what does that mean? Person goes ahead and does double Abyssal Beholders, runs it down, drops a set of the bombs. They get to this tile, they explode, and if you're using a Wukong in this particular tile, Lily is probably going to force ult on either one of these two units, and so you're going to lose one of them. So I just personally, really, even though Wukong is good, I would be hesitant and try to go ahead and use another long-range fighter if you have the ability to. Now, this is going to be team number one. I'm just going to put this here in case you want to go and screenshot or whatever. But ultimately speaking, this team is good. You're going to have pretty much the same functionality as you would in Season 7, where you are reliant on Theowen going ahead and doing those slows, and then you're relying on Ingrid and Regulus or Brokir just tanking up enough units for Ingrid to go ahead and ramp up and effectively just take out this entire lane. If you have Ares, once again, Ares is definitely going to be in Ymrit. Definitely number one, number two for this because they're going to really assist Theowen in just taking out the units before they even go ahead and get towards Ingrid. One thing that you will commonly see is people will occasionally try to go ahead and use flyers so they can swap Ingrid. As long as your Ingrid is built properly, Infernal Roar, you should be fine. You really shouldn't go ahead and encounter too many problems. Additionally, the only way to really go through this team is to go through it. So that's going to be Maw, Axis, Shadowkeepers times 2 plus dogs. There's a couple of strategies, but for the most part, it is reliant on taking down your tank. So as long as you go ahead and have a Lily here, you are going to be in a great position. So this is going to be team one. The second team is a little bit different. Now let's go ahead and get this built. And if I could click, that'd be amazing, right? So this is going to be the second team. You're going to go put Ingrid here. You're going to put your tank here. You're going to put a unit here. And here's one of the most important things. Let's go ahead and get this built properly. Yep. And then you wouldn't use a Theowen in this particular position, but let's just go ahead and actually, let's be very specific. Let's go ahead and replace it because I have Lubu and he's going to be at least a decent representation for what I'm trying to show here. Chaotic units. YouTube, Smileone is currently going ahead and offering a 10% discount to anybody that goes ahead and purchases W Gold using the links in the description. Important to note, Smileone is the official third-party platform for W Gold for Watcher of Realms, and they're also currently going ahead and giving out special deals based off different purchase breakpoints, including such things as stamina, additional diamonds, additional auto battles, and a lot of other fantastic resources as well if you go ahead and purchase anything from their store, at least right now. Important also, the deal is currently going from March 28th, which is right now up until April 7th. So if you're interested in going ahead and getting some W Gold, use the link in the description. Thank you. Where is he? There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and build this representation. So the next thing that you're going to go ahead and do is also technically reliant on Ymrit. And I kind of like this team potentially more just because I think it will prevent swarms from being as effective. So the first thing is you're going to go ahead and build it like so. You're going to put a tank here, and then your Ymrit right here. Now the whole purpose of this, and there's a very intentional reason, Ingrid is going to hit these tiles, but if units get caught here, right, like let's say the necromancers get spawned up here, they're not going to be in Ingrid range unless she's going ahead and doing her AoE hit. So it's very, very important that you go ahead and have some type of unit that will address these set of tiles. And if you do it properly, right, nothing can start getting caught here and building up. And then anything that gets into this corridor right here is also being addressed. Ingrid is being protected by Lily, so if somebody goes ahead and tries to take out the Ingrid via Garnet Guards or anything of that matter, you are protected. And then also, Regulus is also in a great spot, or Brokir, to receive the passive from Lily just as well, if they are going to get chunked out. Also, one of the important things as to how this meta has changed just a little bit is you do get these 3 tiles here. So, what does that mean? Effectively, you need to instantly address this tile, and you need it to be somebody that's going to reliably either do damage or be tanky. I wouldn't even mind if you go ahead and essentially remove Wukong here and actually put like an Edith. Some unit that goes ahead and provides some form of CC or a knockback or something of that matter could be very valuable, because essentially what's going to happen if you were to replace Wukong with the Edith, the units path down, they go ahead and get pushed back, and they get juggled between Regulus and the Edith, or Regulus and whatever unit that you go ahead and put here. Even if you do a Captain Reeve, the second they get here, they're going to get stun locked, and your Ymrit or your Ardea or whatever unit that you put in this particular tile is just going to put them in the absolute blender. Another thing that's super nice is in this particular position, Lily actually goes ahead and catches this unit right here. So what you have the ability to essentially do, and also Lily is not in Garnet Guard range, but what you have the ability to do is go ahead and put a eye right here as well. If you don't have the ability to put a, let's see here, a tank here, you put eye right here. And eye is going to start spawning up those crystals and locking down this entire area. Or if you don't have a Lubu, an Ardea, or Ymrit, replace him and go ahead and put the eye right here. So I is going to put crystals basically in this entire little area right here. And Ingrid's job is just to start chunking out the units before it becomes a threat. I will need to have some bit of tankiness, because you don't want her essentially baiting out the Garnet Guards and then Ingrid dies due to Garnets or any funny business. So just make sure that you are kind of building this team properly in that regard if you're going to go ahead and use I. The final setup is going to be something a little bit more akin to this. So Ingrid is going to be here. You can put Regulus right here. You're going to put another damage dealer right here. Honestly, you could go ahead and put a Ymrit here. You could put an Ares right here just to do some form of damage. I don't necessarily like this team, but it is an option. You go ahead and put your Lily here, and then you go ahead and put an Ajax or something in one of these tiles. Preferably, you put like Ajax over here, right? So you have some flexibility in this. I really don't like this team, though. What's going to happen is Ingrid is going to get forced to proc Garnet Guards, and then what's going to happen is this entire team is just going to fall down really quickly. So if I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't run a team in this particular corridor. I would just run it either top or bottom here. And that's going to be the Watcher faction. See ya.